This is Goku's son, DBZ, and originally today I was talking about doing, of course, a comic book review, but actually at a request on my Google Plus account, I was asked to actually do a manga review since I have only done one so far. In the future you can expect the other manga I have of Star Wars Return of the Jedi review. But today I'm going to review only my second ever manga review. And this is Volume 1 of Devils and Realist. Now, I'll be showing, I'm not going to tell the overall story because given how long this thing is, it would take far too long to do it all. Of course, here we have a picture. This is a time from the past. Now, of course, as mentioned, Realist, this character is. The artwork is really good. I originally checked this out, mainly because it was on clearance area at my local Books A Million. Had this on clearance, normally like $13, had it on clearance, marked down to $4. So yeah, I took advantage and got the first three volumes of Devils and Realist. But the overall artwork job is actually really good for the most part. And I do appreciate, and I find this story a little bit more original. Now, of course, this is a devil, obviously, and he's obsessed over this particular boy, this wealthy individual. Well, actually, this isn't the boy yet. This is a flashback from the past with a particular devil. And ends up, of course, finding out when he comes back to our world in the future, finds out, of course, this is a descendant of the former one whom he had somewhat feelings for. As we see, now there's no distinctive, of course, it looks art-wise like most of your standard manga of nowadays. But still, I think the story's a little bit more original than some mangas I have read in my time. Given I try to follow the life of an otaku. And if you don't know what an otaku is, do a Google search. And that's the mansion. Master William, when did you return? And this butler of his has kind of an obsession over him, I guess you could say. He's like, he's bankrupt? That's impossible. But he ends up needing money, and there's a stipulation. And of course, he's not in a good mood, obviously, for many good reasons. He's like ugly wrinkles. And they're like, you poor boy. At that time, my only ally was his uncle. And of course, we see his loyal servant. And he's like, his family has served under him for years, being loyal. And luckily, motivates him. Blast, isn't there anything that might cover my tuition? And he finds, of course, down in the basement, an interesting place he discovers. A spell-binding circle of sorts, of course, which you would see in alchemy. Right there. And he ends up in the circle, and he's going to end up in the devil's world mansion, and the devil's going to end up in his place. Here we see, my name is Dan Tellin. I am the Grand Duke of Hell, commander of 36 of its mighty armies. I am also the premier candidate to succeed the throne of hell. Like, question mark? Huh? Probably thinking, is this guy for real? Demon King? And like ties him up. Foolish humans. If you weren't the Elector, I would have already taken your soul. And they start, of course, in small talk about different things. Which is why we next term candidates have a long search for you. And he's like, William, was it? And he tries to strike a deal. So, is that all you had to say? He's like, huh? What? I am terribly sorry. My master is a realist who believes in modern science. And he's like, what? You vulgar fraud. Did you really think I would believe all that ridiculous nonsense about Hale and Solomon? Hey, what are you doing? I found nothing in this world that is, inconsequential. Can't solve. Yep. So we see lots of debating back and forth. And there we go again with the spell circle. And here we see thinking about things. And they try to take him to the police station and stuff. He ends up, of course, getting out of that easy enough. And we see a bat. Lord Dan Talon, it is very nearly time. If you spend too much time in this world, I am aware. I will not give up. Of course, this being chapter 2. And here we see a servant with a goat head. He's like, or is this a costume party? But why would there be a costume party in my basement? Remember, he's a realist. He only deals in science and logic. So he doesn't believe in the realm he's in. And he's like, I'm dreaming. That explains a lot. And he starts trying this stuff. Huh? This is even better than the food at my house. Why are the basement of my manor and this man's house connected? Kind of funny, is it not? But even though there's really nothing too special about the overall artwork, I do admire it. Quite an interesting story, actually. And he goes into detail. Currently, there are a number of different factions in Hell. Certainly around Emperor Lucifer. Each of these factions have a king and fights to represent the Emperor. They can't become the Emperor, so why represent? And he starts going on, and of course here we see some weird creature now. Currently, there are a number of different factions in Hell. Yep, surrounding around Emperor Lucifer. And then we see this psycho, which kind of reminds me a little bit of the character from, I'm trying to think, that crazy nutcase redhead from Black Butler. He kind of reminds me of personality-wise. And he becomes obsessed over this boy. Sort of like, though, that guy in Black Butler ends up obsessed with, of course, the main character of Black Butler. Well, the main butler. And he is shocked because he's still trying to come to things with logic. And here he says, "This one belongs to me." You didn't believe me? It can't be. You're really a demon? What? I thought I buried you. It has been a good while, Grand Duke. They exist. Yep. And we see more banter and discussion as the hero is getting ready to, like, basically, I guess you could say, sort of like power up and fight each other. With that filthy mouth. Well, actually he says, "Bastard, do not speak of that woman with your filthy mouth." Excuse my language. Ugh. Okay, fine. Be that way. I hope you actually appreciate this artwork overall. Yeah, the word, actually the face expresses, I think, everything without having to read the words. And he's like, he ends up agreeing. Yes, needless to say, it takes quite a while, quite a few. Pillar 4, or Chapter 4, rather. Such. Yep. Interesting. It's interesting seeing a clash between Hell, their demon world, and our world, continuously crossing back and forth. Nice to meet you. My name is, Cartwright. Please call me. Of course, she shows up. To come after him like the other particular devil character. boar charging kind of reminds me of a particular boar creature from actually Princess Mononoke. And of course we see once again a big battle going on. Over the top styles with the fighting verbal banter, but I expect nothing less from an anime. Which actually I have yet to actually watch the actual anime series that is based on this manga. Yes, I should actually check the out because I've enjoyed the first 3 volumes of this. I might eventually get a few more volumes and continue reading on the story. Or just watch the anime on Hulu. Of course, remember, thumbs up this video, like, subscribe, follow me at twitter.com/GokuSunDBZ as well as on Google+. And I hope you've enjoyed this review, like the showing of the wonderful artwork. Like I said, I would tell the overall story. The only problem is how long it would take given all the pages. It took about 17 minutes just to show you the artwork. And that's a showing/review for Devils and Realist #1 of the manga series. And I'll see you next time. Same YouTube time, same YouTube channel.